Hey guys, Tony Maritato here, licensed physical therapist, and I had a patient today ask me about popping in the shoulder. And I realized I haven't shared a video discussing the topic of popping, crackling, crunching, clunking, all of those kinds of noises that come from different shoulder conditions. So in this video, I want to talk about three of the most common scenarios, two of which are pretty much harmless, and the third one is something that you need to get checked out. So the most common scenario is a suction cup kind of pop. It's the same thing you would get if you pop a knuckle, and then it doesn't happen again. Once you get that initial suction cup release, you can't repeat the motion. That is simply, we believe, gases or a suction cup. If you think of a suction cup inside a bathtub full of water, take a plunger, stick it to the side of the tub, and then pop it off. That's the kind of pop that happens in the shoulder, in the knuckle, in a lot of joints around the body. It's not harmful, it's not painful, it does not lead to arthritis like my mom used to tell me. It's just a release of gases or a suction kind of popping. Now, a second kind of pop is uncomfortable, but I wouldn't describe it as painful. And this is usually a pop in which either a ligament or a tendon pops or bumps over a bone. You have what's called a bicipital groove. The biceps tendon, the long head of the bicep tendon, sits in that groove. And sometimes with certain motions, that tendon could pop or bump over little bumps on your bone. That doesn't usually feel good, but it's certainly not painful. It's not something I would ever recommend somebody try to repeat, but it is repeatable. So with certain motions, for me, when I'm wiping down treatment tables in the clinic, I can almost consistently get a clicking kind of motion every time I move my arm in a circular pattern. It's not painful, it's not harmful, but it's certainly not something I want to do more of. If you have or experience something like this, usually what I explain to my patients is if you manipulate your hand, your wrist, your elbow, you move something around while you're doing the motion, you can usually find an alignment that eliminates that kind of clicking or bumping of the tendon or ligament over the bone, or even just uneven joint surfaces sometimes will kind of create tension then clunk over themselves. Again, not really anything to worry about, more of a nuisance problem than anything else. The last one, now this is one that actually does require medical attention. So maybe you're doing something, maybe you're throwing a ball, maybe you're lifting something heavy and you hear a pop, and then it's immediately followed by severe pain. Feels like you got shot. Quite often people will say they thought they got hit by something, like somebody was swinging a bat and it hit them in the arm. It usually is followed or associated with loss of function. So all of a sudden I get that pop, I get immediate pain, and now I can't move my arm. Those are the situations that big red alert, red flag. We want to get to the emergency room. We want to get to an urgent care. We want somebody to see what's going on to determine if we've ruptured something, ruptured a tendon, ruptured a ligament, or if we've done some other kind of structural damage. So those are the three pops that you would be experiencing in the shoulder. Now, in another video, I'll talk about the crackling and the grinding. We'll talk about labral tears that often present with certain kinds of noises and clicks. But that's the end of today's video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.